लाइव चला गया। वो आखिरी कमरे में अभी कर रहा हूँ। ओके
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا أقسم بهذا البلد وأنت حل بهذا البلد ووالد وما ولد لقد خلقنا الإنسان في كبد أيحسب أن لن يقدر عليه أحد يقول أهلكت مالا لبدا أيحسب أن لم يره أحد ألم نجعل له عينين ولسانا وشفتين وهديناه النجدين فلاقتحم العقبة وما أدراك ما العقبة فك رقبة أو إطعام في يوم ذي مسغبة يتيما ذا مقربة أو مسكينا ذا متربة ثم كان من الذين آمنوا وتواصوا بالصبر وتواصوا بالمرحمة أولئك أصحاب الميمنة والذين كفروا بآياتنا هم أصحاب المشأمة عليهم نار مؤصدة صدق الله العلي العظيم اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعلى بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم إني أسألك برحمتك التي وسعت كل شيء وبقوتك التي كحرت بها كل شيء وخضع لها كل شيء وظل لها كل شيء وبجبروتك التي غلبت بها كل شيء وبعزتك التي لا يقوم لها شيء وبعظمتك التي ملأت كل شيء وبسلطانك الذي على كل شيء وبوجهك الباقي بعد فناء كل شيء وبأسمائك التي ملأت أركان كل شيء وبعلمك الذي أحاط بكل شيء وبنور وجهك الذي أضاء له كل شيء يا نور يا قدوس يا نور يا قدوس يا نور يا قدوس يا أول الأولين ويا آخر الآخرين اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تحتك العصام اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تنزل النقام اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تغير النعام اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تحبس الدعاء اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تقطع الرجاء اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تنزل البلاء اللهم اغفر لي كل ذنب أذنبته وكل خطيئة أخطأتها اللهم إني أتقرب إليك بذكرك وأستشفع بك إلى نفسك وأسألك بجودك أن تدنيني من قربك وأن توزعني شكرك وأن تلهمني ذكرك اللهم إني أسألك سؤالا خاضع متذلل خاشع متضرع أن تسامحني وترحمني وتجعلني بقسمك راضيا قانعا وفي جميع الأحوال متواضعا اللهم وأسألك سؤال من اشتدت فاقته وأنزل بك عند الشدائد حاجته وعظم فيما عندك رغبته اللهم عظم سلطانك وعلى مكانه وخفي مكرك وظهر أمرك وغلب قهرك وجلت قدرتك ولا يمكن الفرار من حكومتك اللهم لا أجد لذنوبي غافرا ولا لقبائعه ساترا ولا لشيء من عملي القبيح بالحسن مبدلا غيرا لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك وبحمدك ظلمت نفسي ظلمت نفسي ظلمت نفسي وتجرأت بجهلي وسكنت إلى قديم ذكرك لي ومنك علي اللهم مولاي كم من قبيح سترته وكم من فرح من البلاء قلته وكم من عسر وقيته وكم من مكروه دفعته وكم من سناء جميل لست أهلا له نشرته اللهم عظم بلائي وأفرط بي سوء حالي وقصرت بي أعمالي وقعدت بي أغلالي وحبسني عن نفعي بعض أملي وخدعتني الدنيا بغرورها ونفسي بجناتها ومطالي يا سيدي فأسألك بعزتك ألا يحجر عنك دعائي سوء عملي وفعالي ولا تفزحني بخفي ما اطلعت عليه من سر ولا تؤاجلني بالعقوبة على ما عملته في خلواتي من سوء فعلي وإساءتي ودوام تفريطي وجهالتي وكسرة شهواتي وغفلتي وقل اللهم بعزتك لي في كل الأحوال رؤوفا وعلي في جميع الأمور عطوفا إلهي ربي من لي غيرك أسأله كشف ضري والنظر في أمري إلهي ومولاي أجريت علي حكما اعتبعت فيه هوى نفسي ولم أحترس فيه من تزيين عدوي فغرني بما أحوى وأسعده على ذلك القضاء فتجاوزت بما جرى علي من ذلك بعض حدوده وخالفت الله بعض أوامره فلك الحمد علي في جميع ذلك ولا حجة لي فيما جرى علي فيه قضاء وألزمني حكمك وبلاء وقد أتيتك يا إلهي بعد تقصيري وإسرافي على نفسي معتذرا نادما منكسرا مستقيلا مستغفرا منيبا مقرا موعنا معترفا لا أجد مفرا مما كان مني ولا مزعا أتوجه إليه في أمري غير قبولك عذري وإدخالك إياي في سعة من رحمتك اللهم فقبل عذري وارحم شدة ضري وفكني من شد وساقي يا رب ارحم ضعف بدني ورقة جلدي ودقة عظمي يا من بلغ خلقي وذكري وتربيتي وبري وتغذيتي هبني لابتدائي وكرمي والسالكي بالركابي يا إلهي وصيدي وربي أتراك معذبي بنارك بعد ترحيلك وبعد من طوى عليه قلبي من معرفتك ولهب به لساني من ذكرك واعتقده ضميري من حبك وبعد صدق اعترافي ودعائي خاضعا لربوبيتك
هيهات هيهات. أنت أكرم من أن تضيع من ربيته، أو تبعد من أدنيته، أو تشرد من آويته، أو تسلم إلى البلاء من كفيته ورحمته. وليت شعري يا سيدي وإلهي ومولاي. أتسلط النار على وجوه خرت لعظمتك الساجدة، وعلى ألسن نطقات بتوحيدك الصادقات، وبشكرك مادحات، وعلى قلوب اعتقد بإلهيتك محققات، وعلى ضمائر حرت من العلم بك حتى صارت خاشعة، وعلى جوارحها سعت إلى أوطان تعبدك طاعات، وأشارت باستغفارك مرعنات. ما هاك من ذنوبك ولا أخبرنا بفضلك عنك. يا كريم يا رب، يا كريم يا رب، يا كريم يا رب. وأنت تعلم ضعفي عن قليل من بلاء الدنيا وعقوباتها، وما يجري فيها من المكاره على أهلها، على أن ذلك بلاء ومكروه، قليل مقصور، يسير بقاء، قصير مدة. فكيف احتمالي لبلاء الآخرة وجلي وقوع المكاره فيها، وهو بلاء تطول مدته ويدوم قومه ولا يخفف عن أهله، لأنه لا يكون إلا عن غضبه وانتقامك وسخطه. وهذا ما لا تقول له السماوات والأرض. يا سيدي فكيف لي وأنا عبدك الضعيف الذليل الحقير المسكين المستكين. يا إلهي وربي وسيدي ومولاي، لأي الأمور إليك أشكو، ولما منها ألج أبكي لأليم العذاب وشدته، أم لطول البلاء ومدته. فلئن صيرتني للعقوبات مع أعدائك، وجمعت بيني وبين أهل بلائك، وفرقت بيني وبين أحبائك وأوليائك، فهب لي يا إلهي وسيدي ومولاي وربي، صبرت على عذابك، فكيف أصبر على فراقك. وهب لي صبرت على حر نارك، فكيف أصبر عن النهر إلى كرامتك. أم كيف أسكن في النار ورجائي عفوك. فبعزتك يا سيدي ومولاي أقسم صادقا، لئن وإن تبتلينا تطهر لئن الجنة إليك بين أهلها ضجيج الآمنين ولأصرخن إليك صراخ المستصرخين ولأبكين إليك بكاء الفاقدين ولأنادينك أين كنت يا ولي المؤمنين يا غاية آمال العارفين يا غياث المستغيثين يا غياث المستغيثين يا غياث المستغيثين يا حبيب قلوب الصادقين ويا إله العالمين أفدراك سبحانك يا إلهي وبحمدك تسمع فيها صوت عبد مسلم سجن فيها بمخالفته وذاق طعم عذابها بمعصيته وحبس بين أطباقها بجرمه وجريرته وهو يدج إليك ضجيجا مؤملا رحمته ويناديك بلسان أهلك وحيده ويتوسل إليك بربوبيته يا الله فكيف يبقى في العذاب وهو يرجو ما سلف من حلمك ورحمتك أم كيف تؤلمه النار وهو يأمل فضلك ورحمتك أم كيف يهرقه لهيبها وأنت تسمع صوته وترى مكانا أم كيف يشتمل عليه غفيرها وأنت تعاب مرافا أم كيف يتقلقل بين أطباقها وأنت تعلم صدقا أم كيف تزجره زبانيتها وهو يناديك يا رب أم كيف يرجو قرك في عتقه منها وتتركه فيها هيهات ما ذلك الظن به ولا المعروف من فضله ولا مشبه لما عاملت به موحدين من برك وإحسانك فباليقين أقطع لولا ما حكمت به من تعذيب جاحدين وقضيت به من إخلاد معاندين لجعلت النار كلها بردا وسلاما وما كان لأحد فيها مكر ولا مقاما لكنك تقدست أسماءك أقسمت أن تملأها من الكافرين من الجنة والناس أجمعين وأن تخلد فيها المعاندين وأن تجل ثناؤك قلت مبتدئا وتطولت بالإنعام متقربا إلهي وسيدي فأسألك بالقربة التي قدرتها وبالقضية التي حكمتها وحكمتها وغلبت من عليه أجريتها أن تهب لي في هذه الليلة وفي هذه الساعة كل جرم جرمته وكل ذنب أذنبته وكل قبيح أسرته وكل جهل علمته كتمته أو أعلنته أخفيته وغدرته وكل سيئة أمرت بإثباتها الكرام الكاتبين الذين وكلتهم بحفظ ما يكون مني، وجعلته شهودا علي مع جوارحي، وكنت أنت الرقيب علي من ورائهم والشاهد لما خفي عنهم، وبرحمتك أخفيتها وبفضلك سترتها، وأن توفر حظي من كل خير أنزلتها أو إحسان فضلتها أو بر نشرتها أو رزق بسطتها أو ذنب تغفره أو خطأ تستره. يا ربي يا ربي يا رب يا ربي يا ربي يا رب يا ربي يا ربي يا رب يا إلهي وسيدي ومولاي ومالك يقيني يا من بيده ناصيتي يا عليما بضري ومسكنتي يا خبيرا بفقري وفاقتي يا ربي يا ربي يا ربي يا ربي يا رب يا ربي يا ربي يا رب أسألك بحق القدس وعظم صفاتك وأسمائك أن تجعل أوقات من الليل والنهار بذكرك معمورا وبخدمتك موصولا وأعمالي عندك مقبولا حتى تكون أعمالي وأورادي كلها وردا واحدا وحالي في خدمتك سرمدا. يا سيدي يا من عليه معولي يا من إليه شكوت أحوالي يا ربي يا ربي يا ربي يا ربي يا رب يا ربي يا ربي يا رب وعلى خدمتك جوارحي واشدد على العليمة جوارحي وحبلي الجد في خشيتك والدوام في الاتصال بخدمتك حتى أصرح إليك في ميعاد السابقين وأسرع إليك في الباربين وأشتاق إلى قربك في المشتاقين وأدنو منك دنو المخلصين وأخافك مخافة المؤمنين وأجتمع في جواريك مع المؤمنين. اللهم ومن أرادني بسوء فأرد ومن كادني فكد واجعلني من أحسن عبيدك نصيبا عندك وأقربهم منزلة منك وأخصهم غرفة لديك فإنه لا ينال ذلك إلا بفضلك وجدني بجودك وعطف علي بمجدك واحفظني برحمتك واجعل لساني بذكرك لهجا وقلبي بحبك متيما ومن علي من حسن إجابتك وأقل لي حسرتي واغفر ذلتي فإنك قضيت على عبادك بعبادتك وأمرتهم بدعائك وضمنت لهم الإجابة فإليك يا ربي نصبت وجهي وإليك يا ربي رددت يدي فبعزتك التي استجب لدعائي وبلغني هداك ولا تقطع من فضلك رجائي واكفني شر الجن والإنس من أعدائي يا سريع الرضا يا سريع الرضا يا سريع الرضا اغفر لمن لا يملك إلا الدعاء فإنك فعال لما تشاء يا من اسمه دعاء وذكره شفاء وطاعته غناء ارحام الرأس ماله الرجاء وسلاحه البكاء يا صابغ النعم يا دافع النقم يا المستعشين في الظلام يا عالما لا يعلم صل على محمد وآل محمد وافعل به ما أنت أهله وصلى الله على رسوله والأئمة الميامين من آله وسلم تسليما كثيرا
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
مسلم كلام صلوات
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
Some announcements really quick before we move to the speech, inshallah. So, the marhumin for today's sponsor, Sayyid Ali Akhtar, Zafir ibn Sayyid Hamid Hussain, Mir Zainul Abidin ibn Sayyid Sadrat Hussain, Sayyid Muhammad Zafir ibn Sayyid Muhammad Ali Zafir, Sayyid Mahmoud al-Hassan, Rizvi ibn Muhammad Hussain Rizvi, Sayyid Abdul Zafir ibn Sayyid Iftikhar Ahmed Zafir, Rahman Nazim ibn Sayyid Mahdi Hassan Tirbani, Sayyid Sayyid Fatima ibn Ali Zafir, Sayyid Ravish Munawar Zafir ibn Sayyid Ali Akhtar Zafir, Sayyid Shabir Hassan Rizvi ibn Muhammad Ibrahim, Kazma Khatun bint Zainab Abidin Sayyid Nasima Khatun bint Sayyid Shabir Hassan, Sayyid Hashim Zafir ibn Sayyid Abdul Qasim Zafir, Sayyid Mahfuz Hassan Rizvi ibn Sayyid Mahmoud Hassan Rizvi, Sayyid Al-Mawla Abidin Khan bint Mir Zainab Abidin Muhammad Khatun Hamid Hussain, Sayyid Sitain Zafir ibn Sayyid Al-Roshan Zafir Zainab Zafir bint Sayyid Yaqub, Sayyid Ra'isul Hassan Sayyid Professor Sayyid Al-Fiqar Ahmed Zafir ibn Sayyid Al-Fiqar Ahmed Zafir. And all of your marhumin and the marhumin on the monument of Zahra, please recite Fatiha for all of your souls. If you are not registered yet for the ICZ picnic, which is happening on Saturday, October 30th, 12:15 to 5 p.m. at San Ramon Central Park, please register now. And last announcement. ICZ Outreach Committee is working with other organizations to help settling Afghan families coming to the Bay Area. The campaign on liveling and examining and collecting 100 backpacks, school supplies, 40 bed frames, groceries for our Afghan families. The goal is 50,000 by November 3rd. We also need volunteers to sign up. And for more details, you can contact Sister Zahrin Amir or any member of the ICZ. صلوات على محمد وعلى محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعلى
We request 5 times for all those who are sick in the Ummah and all those who are distressed. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. أمن يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء أمن يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء أمن يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء أمن يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء. No. محمد وآل محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعلى
عليكم ورحمة الله.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا حبيب قلوبنا وطبيب نفوسنا وشفيع ذنوبنا القاسم المصطفى محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد
وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين وعلى اتباعنا وعلى المرسلين من الأنبياء والمرسلين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة inshallah, the worship of presence tonight, very important night, and Jum'ah, inshallah, for all of us, and for all of us, inshallah, in this night, and inshallah, send a reward to all my Ameen, not from the whole community, and specifically here, and inshallah, give us ma'rifah and tawfiq to inshallah, be more active in the path of Islam. Inshallah, those who are debate the Quran, not ultimately Allah with the barakah of salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the short tawfiq, and Allah inshallah bless you. And now that we're gradually getting back to the routine, inshallah, program that we have, there are a few points left from the first section of History of Islam that we started with each other, remember, before Muharram, and we paused, and we want to show we continue and we finish. Alhamdulillah, we went throughout the whole history from the beginning of Islam, pre-Islamic era, what happened after the appearance of Islam and what Rasulullah did himself and everything, and then the migration to Medina, if you remember, one of the most important aspects of life of Islam and the calendar, Islamic calendar. We talked about what happened to society in Medina, how Rasulullah formed and shaped Islamic society, the constitution, people, all around, and what was he dealing with. We talked about all these points and came to this point that when around less than a year, when they were established in Medina, of course, Medina was shared with the Jews of Medina as well. Those who became Muslim converted to Islam, the majority, and some tribes of Jews as well. They started causing troubles for Rasulullah. Remember, they were those who were waiting for the Islam, for the Prophet of Islam. Or that's better to say for the Prophet to be their own Prophet, not the Prophet of Islam. And they were announcing it to Quraysh, to the foreign. To Quraysh that you should wait for this person that's going to come. But after he came and they realized they don't have any benefit on their financial benefit, position, or anything, they turned their position, they were against Rasulullah. They started causing troubles in Medina, although they were intrigued that you're on your own, you pay the jizya, you pay the special tax you have to pay, we'll take care of you. And they started, causing some troubles and problems. One of the things that happened is that they started criticizing Islam. This is very important, very specific, because if we're going to do the tafsir of some of the ayat of Quran, we need to know what happened and then do the interpretation. The tafsir of Quran is not just get one ayah, read the meaning, and says, oh, Ya Allah, why Quran is talking like this? Why Rasulullah did this? You have to have the whole picture to understand why this ayat is coming and what happened. Otherwise, some people criticize Islam and talk about it based on not knowing what happened in that society, right? One of the things happened is that they started criticizing, making fun of Muslims and Rasulullah and Islam in general. So what happened is that they started saying that at the beginning for 13 years, Rasulullah, 13 years plus 17 months in Medina, the qibla of Muslims were towards what? Baytul Muqaddas, which is shared with what? The Jews, right? That was for many reasons. The unity, being together, many other reasons, Allah knows, but when we know the unity, we're together, blah, blah, stuff like that. They started, the Jews of Medina making fun of Rasulullah. So he brought a religion. Apparently, this religion is supposed to be an independent religion, better than all religions. But look at him. He's sharing the same qibla, direction of the prayers that we are sharing. So you see, they started keep nagging and bothering Rasulullah. Many of the forces of Rasulullah were actually psychological forces as well. They started nagging Rasulullah, and then the history is saying that when he heard about this, it affected him. It was difficult for him to hear that, and it's affecting other Muslims. They were saying that he was coming out of his house at night and looking at the heaven and the sky, looking for a solution from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What are we supposed to do? That they are, bothering all Muslims and they're making fun of Islam and all these things. So when that happened, actually, so when that happened is that, they started criticizing Islam, and the ayah of Quran came, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَمَا جَعَلْنَا الْقِبْلَةَ الَّتِي كُنْتَ عَلَيْهَا إِلَّا لِنَعْلَمَ مَنْ يَتَّبِعُ الرَّسُولَ. Before I go to this, I want to say what ayah Quran says actually in this side. وَقَدْ نَرَى تَقَلُّبَ وَجْهِكَ فِي السَّمَاءِ. Oh, that's you. This way. So,
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
Yes. Okay. So, all right. So look what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says. I want you to see if you can get some points here beside the change of the qibla. We have been seeing you, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling you. So we have been seeing you turning your face to the heavens, to the sky, right? So we will certainly assign to you a qibla that you would like. There's some points here I want you to see if you can, inshallah, get those points. Now turn your face in the direction of the sacred mosque, Masjid al-Haram, and wherever you are, turn your face in its direction. Even those who have been given the book, Jewish, right, and the Kitab. So know well that it is the truth from their Lord, and Allah is not unaware of what they do. Okay, so this is coming and telling Rasulullah, we know what is going on. We know that you're looking at the heaven, right? But what other points besides what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying here for the change of Allah? What other points you getting regarding Rasulullah? Say again. Okay, go ahead. Very interesting. Ahsan. Salawat Muhammad wa Muhammad.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
قِبْلَةً تَرْضَاهَا. Will give you the qibla that satisfies you. Look at the azamah and the greatness of Rasulullah. We're changing the whole direction of the qibla for the entire Muslims. Ila yawm al-qiyamah, because for the sake of you, O Rasul, so what makes you calm? How amazing is the existence of this Rasul, right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And look at this, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what he says is not just because individually it's going to make you happy. No, because his existence is all about the benefit of Muslims. There's nothing beyond that, right? It's like a father or mother keep thinking about the benefit of the child, right? Whatever they want unconsciously is for the benefit of the children, right? But besides that, how much Allah loves this Rasul. Says, you could say, a qibla that we will be satisfied, a qibla that we like. No, a qibla that you like satisfies you. It's a kind of compliment because he was worried, he was upset because what they're doing, right? In this mission. You're not living here alone, you're all with us, we are with you, right? A qibla that you like, but the other of Rasulullah, subhanAllah, we see here. Anyhow, so therefore, what happened here is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered that yes, another reason that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not just because of the Jews, because of this ayah is saying that it's a test to see who are the true believers and who are not the true believers. And we did not prescribe the qibla which you used to observe, except to know the one who follows the messenger as distinct, exact, good followers from the one who turns on his heels. It was burdensome. We know it was difficult, this change, indeed, but not for those and on those whom Allah guided. You know what happened is that, let me actually say what else happened here. The other reasons that we had is that, so Kaaba was a house that all Arabs at that time, they respected it. They liked it. It was a point of unity. Remember, even before Islam, they were coming for the tawaf and the ziyarat of Kaaba and their idols during the time of Hajj, the same Hajj, right? So it was a good point for Arabs. They were more satisfied. All right, so we have our own things, right? Why do we have to share something else that doesn't belong to us? That was a good turning point and a strategic point that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saw. The second one is that they wanted to now make a separation between Muslim and Jews because they're causing problem. That's what I think. And many of these people who hear why Islam is talking about Ahlul Kitab this way and that way. Think about what they did, how much they bothered. We inshallah learn other inshallah episodes that they helped the Mushrikeen and the Quraysh to come fight Rasulullah and kill Rasulullah and Ahlul Medina and Muslims. They helped. Khandaq, that happens because of them. Behind the back of Muslims, although they had the treaty and pact, they were against Muslims, betrayed them, right? So, and then they wanted to have a separation. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, okay, no, now, you're separate from each other. You have an other. So, such as an interesting point, changing the ruining of fasting of the day of Ashura. The Jews were doing before Islam, they were doing this. It was their own things. They were fasting on the day of Ashura, according to our traditions. And then Muslims at the beginning, they were following the same thing. It was a recommendation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They were fasting the day of Ashura, the 10th day of month of Muharram. When there was supposed to be a separation, the order came to Rasulullah, you're not fasting anymore. That's why Shia, they believe in this, right? You're not fasting in this day anymore. So that happens at the time of Rasulullah as well. Besides, we are feeling about Muharram and months and everything. No, that happens even before, at the time of Rasulullah, no fasting on the day of Ashura anymore. One of the reasons, separation from what they do. Now they're hurting Muslims. Now they're causing troubles and issues. Now we get separated as much as possible, including anything that is, right? So that's another reason that we know and it became mansukh. Mansukh, naskh, means when there's a hook, and all of a sudden Allah cancel that hook or remove that hook from the regulations, right? And Allah says in the Quran, when we do the naskh of a hook and ayah, indeed, because we have a better thing to show you guys. There's a better reason that we do that. We have some other ayah that became naskh. Wow. So anyhow, after 13 years in Mecca and 17 months in Medina, in the middle of the namaz al-Zuhr of Rasulullah, in the middle of the namaz of Rasulullah, what happened is that Jibreel came, brought the ayah. According to some traditions, he took the hand of Rasulullah, turned him 180 degrees from Baitul Muqaddas to Masjid, in the middle of the Salah. Now, what do you think? Why in the middle of the Salah? Why not after or before Salah? That sound is a test. Some traditions are saying he was in Jama'ah, in a small tribe. There's when you go, inshallah, to Hajj, inshallah, to Umrah, to Gather, inshallah, we go soon. We visit a masjid called Masjid Dhu Qiblatain. Dhu Qiblatain is what? Has two Qibla, right? It's the same masjid. You see the 2 points. Rasulullah is reciting, performing salah in this direction, and all of a sudden, you have to change that direction, right? So, Masjid Dhu. So, it was a test for everyone, right? How much you believe in this prophet? Is he doing because of himself, or you believe that he's a messenger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? He's doing it sincerely for the sake of Allah, right? This ayah recited, right? إِلَّا لِنَعْلَمَ مَنْ يَتَّبِعُ الرَّسُولِ. So to know who is following the Rasul, right? So this happened, and then they changed the song. After the second rakat of the Zuhr. Any question comes to your mind about that? Ahsan, how is it possible? What happened? Women were behind the men, Rasul was in front. How did they change the whole scenario? Now if they want just to turn around, so the women are going to be in front, Rasul is going to be the last one, the men is going to be, what happened here? Say again? Imam Ali was the one who led on that side. That's one of the points that they are trying. There are multiple reasons how is it possible. One of them is that Imam Ali was the one who led on that side. What else? What else comes to your mind? If someone comes and asks you this question. Right? We need a professional to handle the mushkil. It's not that much. What's the what is the tabarak for tonight? That's the question. So it's not that difficult, right? Where the order is coming from? Where the orders of salat coming from? Who is the one who says how to pray? He's the one exceptionally in that moment is saying to change the whole scenario, right? What's the point of moving a little bit, walking a little bit, right? In your salat, you are allowed to walk a little bit, all right? Few steps, little by little, pause, which there's a reason you have to do it, okay? So there's you pause your zikr, whatever you're saying, a little bit you scoot over, a little bit, not just walk nonchalant, right? A little bit you go that side, other side, or you go for it. Let's say, for example, something is coming, crawling towards you, right? So you can walk a little bit, pause the zikr, a little bit on that side, start the zikr, right? Anything like that. So first and foremost, this is the hukm of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He knows he can't say, Ya Rasulullah, say, change it. And then, as we said, some of the traditions are saying, the Jibreel took the hands, he says, okay, now move forward, right? and then the whole scenario changed. All right. So because if it's about the whole scenario of the salah, change of direction, if you move yourself from the direction, your salah is batil. This is purposely, right? But the whole scenario is changing. Now you have to change. That's one reason. The second reason they're saying maybe it was not Jama'ah. Some of the reasons, and maybe it was not Jama'ah. Maybe the Rasul was alone, he was praying and he just moved out of it, right? Or maybe he was just, like I said, somehow it's an order to change and will change. So it's not that much. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's order, he would accept the salah if they stay in it.
So if he was not in Jama'ah, then how was it a test for the followers?
Ahsan. But for Muslims, maybe after that. Because Muslims realize, right, that all of a sudden the Qibla changed, should we follow, we shouldn't follow, the change of Qibla is a test, not just for the followers in Jama'ah, for all Muslims, right? Let's say even if he was alone, from tomorrow it says 13 years plus 1 month, year, we were performing salah towards this direction, and from tomorrow this direction. So all Muslims should follow. Still a test for Muslims.
And if it was a Jama'ah, and did Imam Ali lead the rest of the Jama'ah?
That's one of the point that they're saying, yes, there is a Jama'ah. He led. Because we have it in our Ahkam as well. If the Imam of Jama'ah, right? God forbid if it's me. If I fall down, something happened to me. The other one who is behind me should step forward, continue the Jama'ah. Right? So that's why usually the one who is behind the alim is the one who is the most qualified. That's what you heard about it, right? The most qualified. If another alim comes, what do? You want to please stay there behind the alim, right? So if something happened to the alim, let's say you fell down, you died, anything during the salat, the other one will step forward and continue. So so that's the change of the Qibla, and that's the history behind this. And again, there are many different reasons and other reasons as well here, right? But few points here that you realize, including what happened, the whole scenarios, and how much the Jews were causing problem with the help of the Munafiqeen and the hypocrites of Medina, right? And then that changed. And Allah knows, behind other things, what are the real reasons behind this and everything. All right, so that was about a good turning, very important part of the history of Islam, that all Muslims, they believe in it, like I say, towards Mecca and Medina, and you see that inshallah, Masjid over there, and the story. All right, so the very important other part of the history of Islam are the wars, the ghazawat that happened in Islam. Islam have been accused a lot because of these wars. A lot of Mustashriqeen came and accused Rasulullah that the reason Islam is, progress, a lot of people are Muslim, it's actually through the sword, not the law, not because of the hikmah and reason and stuff like that. It's because they force people, violence, right? That's what they're saying. So a lot of accusation against Islam and not knowing the reality, and they're trying to hide the reality, what happens. So the wars in the history of Islam are very important. There's some important points. And some people can come and ask you some questions that you have no answer. And when they ask you, you will be paused. How is it going to be possible? Rasulullah did this? If you don't have the true reason, meaning and reasons behind it, you'll totally be paused and you won't be answered. These are very good points regarding the history of Islam. So before I tell you what are what happened in the wars specifically, there are a few points that we have to learn about Islam and Ahkam of Islam regarding the wars, right? So do you think Islam allows offensive or defensive wars? And what kind actually happened in time of Islam? Defensive? Everybody believes defensive? No offensive? One offensive. One.
It was a preemptive war of Khaybar.
Okay. All right. What happened then? Why offensive?
Because the Jews were doing some conspiracies and some plannings against the Muslims, and so there was a preemptive strike.
Okay, so 2 points, offensive and defensive, right? We'll see what happens. So we have to go to Quran to hear from Quran, to go to that era, what happened, what kind of things, and still for our daily life as well. We have to see what kind of things Islam and Quran is allowing us. The first point that the reason that it's permissible to have the fight against those who attack Muslims, defensive. This is very, very clear. Surah Al-Baqarah, ayah 190, وَقَاتِلُوا فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ الَّذِينَ يُقَاتِلُونَكُمْ وَلَا تَعْتَدُوا إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُحِبُّ الْمُعْتَدِينَ. Fight for the sake of Allah, cause of Allah, with those who fight you, but do not transgress the limits for Allah, because Allah does not like the transgressors. Those who attack you, I think everybody will accept this. Those who attack you, although they alternate nowadays, they try to say, even if we attack you, you don't do anything. We want to kill you, but you should be submitted. Don't do anything. So, if you're attacking, you have to do something. If someone at night opens the door of your house, comes and tries to, what do? Yeah, in that scenario, yeah, but if it's us and you have to be completely submitted to us, right? It doesn't work. So if we attack a Muslim country, the Muslim country should say what? And we'll talk about here, yours, you can even kill us, this is our money and our family. We're not going to say anything. And what? MashaAllah. And the word. So Quran says what? Quran says no. Everybody says. The logic, common sense says, when they're attacking you, you need to defend yourself. Right now you go, no, that doesn't happen. Someone is passing the street, someone is coming and attacking, right? So what do? Defend themselves. That's very reasonable that we have to do. Many of these ayat of Quran, remember what I said in Tafsir? Someone opens the Quran, Ya Allah, Islam is promoting violence. Well, brother, go back to the history of Islam. Go back, we're going to go to the other ones. How many people they killed Quraysh? Innocent women, children, men, everybody, elders. Just because they are Muslim, just because they say we want to have our freedom to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, one God, right? 3 years in Shib Abi Talib. I told you what happened in Shib Abi Talib. 3 years, there's nothing to eat in Shib Abi Talib. Back and forth, stealing the money from Muslims from them. Without about this. We have to understand this. The second point is defending the weak and oppressed. Yeah. Those who are oppressed. Islam says we are responsible for those who are what? Who are oppressed. We need to be for them. Because imagine a group of people are Muslim and some other people attack Muslim and other Muslims will stand up and then watch. Yeah, it's a very bad thing. We condemn it. Yeah. Well, we're not going to do anything. What kind of religion is this? Right? Someone who just comes inside, tries to attack one of us. What would you do? All of us try to help each other. Right? Anybody else? In a family. So this is another thing that some ayah Quran says, وَمَا لَكُمْ لَا تُقَاتِلُونَ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ وَالْمُسْتَضْعَفِينَ مِنَ الرِّجَالِ وَالنِّسَاءِ وَالْوِلْدَانِ. When you see a poor and oppressed men, women, or children, they're being oppressed, they need your help. Right? So this was the reason Rasulullah at that time, some of the wars were because they were oppressed at that. Again, we talk about the history of Islam, right? Some of the wars they had were because people were oppressed by the oppressors over there. The other reason fights with those who have gone back to their treaties and pact. They betrayed the treaties that they made, right? Such as the people that the brother says, they made the treaties, they made a pact, and then they betrayed Muslims against Islam, right? And they tried to hurt Muslims. This is another reason. وَإِنْ نَكَثُوا أَيْمَانَهُمْ مِنْ بَعْدِ عَهْدِهِمْ وَطَعَنُوا فِي دِينِكُمْ فَقَاتِلُوا أَئِمَّةَ الْكُفْرِ لَا إِنَّهُمْ لَا أَيْمَانَ لَهُمْ لَعَلَيْهِمْ. Right? So they broke it, and they're hurting Muslims. It's not just broken, right? They're hurting and going against Muslims with this, right? You see why they break the deal? Because they want to go against it, right? What they did. Part of the war of, like I said, and that we'll talk about it in some other episodes. It happens because the Jews of Medina, they were together with the corporation Kuffar. They were telling them what to do and how they're supporting. Inside, they were ready as soon as they give the green light, so they attack from inside. This is another thing. It's all defensive, right? Supporting each other. Another one is that if they are trying to mislead and change and go against Muslims. So what Islam is trying to say is that, first and foremost, Islam comes, the same Islam, the same that this ayat comes from. And it says, the Jews of Medina and the Christians are fine. They can practice their own things, stay, right? In Medina, just pay a special tax jizya. We're all supporting you, we're protecting you, right? even protect you. It was wajib for them, for Rasulullah, to protect the what? Yeah, the kitab of Medina, right? We are talking about the mushrikeen that they are what? Ready to destroy Islam. Like he said, think about what happened over there. That they were fully ready to kill all Muslims. In all these wars, for example, in Khandaq, they are coming towards Medina. They are, all around Medina was what was all, taken by the Mushrikeen of all tribes, Ahzab, right? Another name of Khandaq is Ahzab. The trench is Ahzab. Ahzab is what all the tribes together. They came to destroy Islam. How many people? I don't know, 300, 400, 500 families, for example, right? To destroy everybody. So this is another thing. Another reason that these ayat are coming is a warning for mushrikeen and disbelievers. They're coming full forcefully to destroy Islam and Muslims, right? And then these ayats are coming to what? To show it to them, hey, stop. This is another reason. Hey, stop. Do not do it. We're going to defend ourselves. We're going to come and be against you, right? This is another one. Because at the beginning, we'll talk about it in the Battle of Khandaq, and in the war Badr. At the beginning of Islam, whatever they were doing, there's no hope of you are allowed to fight back. They were fighting, Muslims cannot fight. Muslims are coming to Rasulullah, they're doing this, they stole my money. In Medina, they took all my house and my wealth and assets. Rasulullah was saying, we can't do anything. There's no hope to fight back. We cannot. Look at Rasulullah. He was saying being tortured, right? Why in Shir Abi Talib they didn't put together, for example, go fight? There's no hope. Right? So what we see here is this, that they're not allowed to do it. At certain points, then the mushrikeen realized Muslims, they can protect themselves and go fight with them. It was a good preventative point and measure for them to stop some point, attacking Muslims. So that's why it's mostly defensive, right? Unless they are doing something against Muslim, when they go back, then Islam should come and take care of the whole, the issues and the problems, so they will not become bigger and bigger. So if we do not know these things, if we do not know, and we just want to go through our Quran, Allah, what is this? Why was it? And then I was in a church, actually, someone asked me this question, that why Quran has this ayat of violence. One of the ladies, elder one, stood up of the question. She answered, she said, well, sweetheart, did you read Bible? Because we have many ayat of war and violence in Bible as well. She answered the other one. She said, it's not about that. So you should see the context, where that came from, what happened, situation over there and everything, right? So very quickly, I'll finish with this, inshallah. Some point of the war, Battle of Badr, the first war that happened between Muslim and the Quraysh, Kuffar Quraysh. What happened is this, well, before we go there, when the Muslims immigrated from Mecca to what? To Medina, right? Around 200 families or people over there, right? They confiscated everything that they had. They came out of Mecca, they ran away, flee from Mecca, right? What happened is that their house, their capital, their money, their animals, everything they had, they confiscated. They were not giving it back. If they were going to go back to Mecca, they were arresting them. So people came from Mecca with nothing. That's why in Medina, Ansar, right? They shared their life and their assets with who? With Muhajirin, with immigrants. They make their life in half. Give half of them to immigrants that they came from Mecca. If we have refugee right now, we're supporting them, right? It's in Islam. They make their assets in half to support Ansar, to support Muhajirin, the immigrants, right? They had nothing. They came out with their clothing and some stuff with them. Many of them, they were among the poorest people in Medina. So what happened here? They're not giving back. They're sending the message, brother, no, we're not giving this confiscate. There should be somehow, we don't let you do this against Muslims, right? There should be somehow. What happened is that Abu Sufyan, he had a big business caravan. We're going from Mecca to Sham, right? So that was a strategic point from Rasulullah, right? To take to do something. So they give them all and the money and the wealth of the Medina Muhajirin and the immigrant back to them. So when he was going there, they couldn't stop them. Coming back, it was around the same time, beginning of the fall. Okay, they were coming back from Damascus, a big business caravan. Abu Sufyan himself is the head of it, from Sham to Damascus. Around 1,000 camels with 50,000 dinar of merchandise. Technically, for the entire big names of Mecca. It's coming back. This is one of the first ayat that gave permission to Rasulullah for fights. Permission to fight is given to those against them, right? Before that, there's no permission to fight, right? Here's the permission. So what happened is that because they confiscated all those things, Rasulullah wanted to use this to confiscate the merchandise in this business caravan, right? So to say, either you give the money back to our people, or we take this, right? We do not let you oppress anyone. This is not right. You cannot bully, right? And they were saying it, you can do it no matter what. No, you cannot. We stand up, we respond back to it. So we need to confiscate this, right? That happens. And this is the first time, the first issue that happened. I don't want to go too deep, just one part of it. In the second Ramadan after Hijrah, Rasulullah with how many people? Does that make sense? That number again. So we heard a few weeks ago, last week we talked about with 313 as well, and everything. So you see how connected everything is. Nothing is random. The numbers, scenarios, situations, everything is a hikmah in these accounts. What is the hikmah? Different, inshallah, we can talk about it later. So Rasulullah, he sent 2 or 3 of the people from intelligence service that he had, to get the news, where they're coming from, how many people, around 40, they came with this, around 40 guards they have. 40 guards, the part of one were coming back, right? So there are 13 and there are 40. So they got the news, all the information they need, brought it to Rasulullah. This is the scenario. What are we supposed to do? Rasulullah went out of Medina with his people 313, and they stopped in the location that there is a well called Badr. Okay, there's a well that usually caravans that were passing there, and they had to stop and stop the situation. So we'll talk what happened. Abu Sufyan, he's a very cunning guy. He heard and he knew when he was going towards Damascus what is going on. I'm making it, like these TV advertisement, and then finish the movie and then you come back next episode. So I'm trying to do that, inshallah. So what happened here? Abu Sufyan, when he was going to Damascus, he heard about this. He knew that, right? So he's coming back. These people, they're very cunning, like I said, right? When he's coming back, he knew that. He already sent some people, says, I knew that Muhammad was looking for us. Go figure out. And he was asking the other caravan around where we're coming, did you see him or not? Some of them, they said what they said. And then what was his strategy? With 40 people, you cannot stand in front of 300. What was his strategy? How he started the fight and everything comes in the next episode. Inshallah. It's going to be interesting. I think, inshallah, it's the first war, the experience, one of the most important wars. People who participated in this war, they call it Ahl Badriyun. Badriyun were so important that after the war, if there was a scenario in Medina, for example, there was a debate or something, they were like, few of the Badriyuns, they agree with us. They were so important. Few of the Badriyuns, they're so important people, so they're Ahl Iman and Mu'min, so you should accept everything. So it's a very interesting, inshallah, scenario. And what happened after that scenario situation, we'll, inshallah, talk about this. Any questions, comments? So then you will see that Islam comes with dignity. Although just how many, very limited number of people, no wealth, no scenario, they're not ready to, not being trained to attack or anyone, right? But no matter what, you trust Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, believe and trust Allah, stand up, the izzah and honor of Muslims. The self-esteem and confidence, one of the things we always say about the youth and children, that we see that it's hurting them, is self-esteem. That when you go to school, there's not enough energy or self-esteem to stand up and say, this is who I am. And I have all this truth behind, right? Where does self-esteem and confidence come first and foremost? From family, parents. They themselves should be proud of themselves to be Muslims. You see Islam here, you cannot oppress us, you cannot do this. You are right, you stand up. And here's a very interesting point. What did it say this ayah? وَلَا تَعْتَدُوا. Do not pass the limits. I know Allah says, I know you want to fight with disbelievers, but you have no right to violate anything. Don't be among the transgressors. This is an amazing point. If you want to do it, do it. But we'll talk about it in other words. Even Khaybar, Rasulullah says, do not fight with innocent people. Do not fight with elders. No children. No, do not hurt women. Do not destroy the buildings. Do not destroy the trees or animals. They were doing these things. It was part of the scenario and the strategy of the war to destroy everything, right? Rasulullah says, do not hurt animals, innocent people, children. You only fight with the soldiers that are in front. It's against the war strategy of that time, but do not be among the transgressors. Allah does not like this, right? You might go for your right, but don't pass the limits. That's what some people, they confuse and make mistakes. Anyhow, inshallah, working on the self-esteem and the confidence that we need to have, and the izzah. فَإِنَّ الْعِزَّةَ لِلَّهِ وَلِرَسُولِهِ وَلِلْمُؤْمِنِينَ إن شاء الله. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد وعجل فرجهم. اللهم عجل لنبيك الفرج والعافية والناس لمدة عمره الشريف وزين الأرض بكل بقائه واجعلنا من أعوانه الأنصار وشيعته. يا رحمن يا رحيم ثبت قلوبنا على دينك. يا الله we ask you to accept the Rasul and the debate. Hasten the will of the Imam al Mahdi. Do not let anyone from our generation be against the light of the Quran and debate. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, let us learn the ma'arif of Islam, Quran, and debates. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, let us be among those who are submitted to Islam and follow the path of Rasulullah, Quran, and debates. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, those mu'mineen and Muslimin around the world now, being oppressed, all around Afghanistan, Bahrain, Oman, everywhere around the world. Ya Allah, provide opportunities for their freedom. Ya Allah, let us have the tawfiq to help and support our brothers and sisters in Iman. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, those who are sick, and heal them at this moment. Those who pass away in the development work and are gathered. So, رحم الله من يقرأ الفاتحة مع الصلاة.
اللهم صل على محمد وعلى Wait for
السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله. السلام عليك يا ابن رسول الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليكم يا وارث آدم صفوة الله. السلام عليكم يا وارث نوح نبي الله. السلام عليكم يا وارث إبراهيم خليل الله. السلام عليكم يا وارث موسى كريم الله. السلام عليكم يا وارث عيسى روح الله. السلام عليكم يا وارث محمد حبيب الله. السلام عليكم يا وارث علي أمير المؤمنين ولي الله. السلام عليكم يا ابن محمد المصطفى. السلام عليكم يا ابن علي المرتضى. السلام عليكم يا ابن فاطمة الزهراء. السلام عليكم يا ابن خديجة الكبرى. السلام عليكم يا ثواب الله وابن ثوابه والوتر الموجود. أشهد أنك قد أقمت الصلاة وآتيت الزكاة وأمرت بالمعروف ونهيت عن المنكر وأطعت الله ورسوله حتى أتاك اليقين. ولعن الله أمة قتلت ولعن الله أمة ظلمت ولعن الله أمة سمت بذلك فرضيت به. يا مولاي يا أبا عبد الله، أشهد أنك كنت نورا في الأصلاب الشامخة الأرحام المطهرة، لم تنجسك الجاهلية بإنجازها ولم تلبسك من مداهمات ثيابها وأشهد أنك من دعائم الدين وأركان المؤمنين، وأشهد أنك الإمام البر التقي الرضي الزكي الهادي المهدي، وأشهد أن الأمة من ولد كلمة التقوى وأعلام الهدى والعودة الوثقى والحجة على أهل الدنيا، وأشهد الله وملائكته وأنبياءه ورسله إني بكم مؤمن وبإيامكم موقن بالشرائع الدين وخواتم عملي، وقلبي بقلبكم سلم وأمري بأمركم متبع. صلوات الله عليكم وعلى أرواحكم وعلى أجسادكم وعلى أجسامكم وعلى شاهدكم وعلى غائبكم وعلى ظاهركم وعلى باطنكم. السلام عليك يا ابن رسول الله، السلام عليك يا ابن نبي الله، السلام عليك يا ابن أمير المؤمنين، السلام عليك يا ابن الحسين الشهيد، السلام عليك أيها الشهيد وابن الشهيد، السلام عليك أيها المظلوم وابن المظلوم. لعن الله أمة قتلت، ولعن الله أمة ظلمت، ولعن الله أمة سمعت بذلك فرأيت به. السلام عليك يا ابن أمير المؤمنين، السلام عليك أيها العبد الصالح المطيع لله ورسوله. أشهد أنك قد جاهدت بالصح وصلت حتى أتاك اليقين. لعن الله الظالمين لكم من الأولين والآخرين، ولحقهم بدرك الجحيم. السلام عليكم يا أولياء الله وأحباءه، السلام عليكم يا أسفياء الله وأولياءه، السلام عليكم يا أنصار دين الله، السلام عليكم يا أنصار رسول الله، السلام عليكم يا أنصار أمير المؤمنين، السلام عليكم يا أنصار فاطمة الزهراء سيدة النساء العالمين، السلام عليكم يا أنصار أبي محمد الحسن بن علي زكي الناصح، السلام عليكم يا أنصار أبي عبد الله بأبي أنتم وأمي طبتم وطابت الأرض التي فيها دفنتم وفزتم فوزا عظيما، فيا ليتني كنت معكم فأفوز معكم. السلام عليك يا رسول الله، السلام عليك يا أمير المؤمنين، السلام عليك يا الزهراء سيدة النساء العالمين، السلام عليك أيها الحسن المجتبى، السلام عليك يا الحسين وعلى 9 المعصومين من ولد. السلام عليك يا صاحب العصر والزمان الأمان. السلام عليك يا شريك القرآن، السلام عليك يا قامع الكفر والطغيان. سيدي عجل الله تعالى فرجك وسهل الله تعالى مخرجك.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.